And there's another thing too. You'll hear the talking points of these divestors always talking about how black men was conquered by the white man. They'll sit and talk about this shit. How black man was conquered while they laying up with a white man and talking about how black man was conquered by the white man. But let's keep it real. The indigenous Native Americans, they were conquered and lands taken by this white man. But do you hear or see the Native American woman disrespecting her Native American counterpart, male counterpart? Do you see that? Do you see the Palestinians that got bombed straight out of Gaza, removed from Gaza, again removed from Israel every day, damn near? That's a genocide that happened to the Palestinians. You dig? But do you hear the Palestinian woman going around telling her Palestinian man, you was conquered by the Israelis? So that's why I'm in a relationship with an Israeli man. Do you see that? Matter of fact, the Palestinian women go hard in the paint with their Palestinian man. You don't see that. You don't see that. You didn't see that with the Viet Cong women. You know what the Viet Cong women was doing? They were putting razor blades in their coochies so that when white men have sex with them, it'll cut their genitals off. The Vietnamese women was doing all they can to sabotage the U.S. soldiers when they was over there in Vietnam, because they was basically the United States was butchering the shit out of Vietnamese. They were torturing Vietnamese villages that didn't even have nothing to do with the war. The U.S. troops, the white man, to go and torture all the Vietnamese, including their children. But you ain't never see that Vietnamese woman decided to sell her counterpart, her male Vietnamese counterpart out. Black women are the only one that do this shit. They the only one that work with white supremacy. They're the only one get on panels with white supremacy and discuss how white supremacist men need to delete or put black men in line. But you don't see no Beckys over there. And I mean, you'll see these white black women saying so much horrific shit about black men to the point where even white women be like, damn, what y'all do to them? Ain't nothing but be black. I said, just be black men. They shit with dealing the same vitriol that white supremacist men have against black men. Black women share it with them. But the Debbie Downer to that shit is Brad don't give a damn. The white supremacist white male don't give a damn about her either. While she up there caping for white men, and you'll think everybody tell you that Brandon Tatum and some of these black men that are sellouts, say, well, they with a white woman, they're a sellout. But one damn thing, I ain't never heard nobody like Brandon Tatum, any of these black men that are conservative, I ain't never heard them say nothing wicked about or harming black women. I ain't never, even though some of them might be with a white woman, like Brandon Tatum, he with a white woman, but have you ever heard him say something wicked about doing anything harm to black women? No, you haven't. Yes, I admit, Brandon Tatum is a straight coon. But have you heard anything remotely of him saying they need to delete all black women and, to get black women in line? Have you seen Brandon Tatum or any black dude that's on the conservative right said, even Anton, even any of them white brothers that are conservative, have you ever seen them say something wicked about black women? No, you haven't. But you have black women that are so-called pro-black women, disguise themselves as pro-black women, be laying up with white men, and then say wicked shit about black men and say, oh, we ain't real. I'm pro black woman. Like black men are a completely different species, and then when you catch them up in their shit of defending a white man, the white racist white men they married to, they'll say, well, what about black men's sex? Um, what about their sexism? Which, to be honest, black men the most liberal ass men ever. We more liberal than the white man, the Asian man, the Hispanic man, and the Arab man. We more liberal than all of them. We more liberal. Black men are the most liberal group of men on the planet. But yet we get all the vitriol from a group of women, and the only thing they can say, well, black men are sexist. Why they with a sexist, white supremacist white man? And they call us sexist just to cover up all the racism that the white men that they are in relationships with, and then until they get out them relationships, then they want to come over and talk about white supremacy, but then still be want to give white men a pat on the back because you can't talk about, if you talk about, you call they white they them. This is why I'm glad that biracial chick called them out on their bullshit. I'm glad she called them black women out on their bullshit, talking about white supremacy and their white boyfriends or husbands being racist, but they stayed in a relationship with him as long as he was being racist towards black men. It was okay. It was all tolerated until the racism, till they got to face it by him, and they been getting called the N-word and shit like that. All of a sudden now they out the relationship, and now they want to talk about racism. And then to me and other black men, we don't want to hear the shit. We don't want to hear nothing pro-black coming out these Keisha's mouths because they fake. They are not pro-black. They pro-bullshit. They pro-bullshit. Ain't nothing pro-black about these Keishas. They was over there kissing white men ass, riding with white supremacy, on shotgun with white supremacy. You like this little ugly, little skinny, little dusty little chick up there with the little fat pasty little white dude with the burnt up face. You know, just riding with them. But when they start getting abused over there, then all of a sudden now they want to come back to black men and talk about anti-blackness and racism. They be in relationships with anti-black Latino men, and then want to come back to us talking about anti-blackness and racism amongst Latin American men. We don't want to hear the shit. We already knew that Latino men have a lot of anti-blackness and racism in them. We already knew that white men like that. So why you coming to tell us and talk about some white supremacy over the fence when we already know that's primarily majority of white men that are white supremacists. They'll say they're not, but majority are more. Majority of white men are white supremacists. That's why I'm glad Donald Trump is revealing all this shit, letting all of them come out and say this shit, and now they can't walk the shit back. You dig? But the sad thing is you got black women riding shotgun with them. And another thing too, white women see this shit too. White women see this shit. White women see y'all white men and you black women up there being racist and shit, and you up there laying up there with a black woman, and Becky calling it, white women calling that shit out too. While you up there trying to call her mud shark, you laying up there with black women. Brad, how you gonna go after her when you laying up there with white women, with black women? Dude, you a hypocrite, just like Keisha a hypocrite. But I digress.